Hi, and thank you for coming back to my channel. My name is Annelyse, and my channel is Let's Nama Slay. Today, I'm doing things a little bit differently. I am really coming out and sharing all the things new. So not all in one YouTube video, but this is like my first step. So it is a little nerve-wracking, to be honest with you. I've been sharing with you all for the last 3 years, and if this is your first time finding me, I hope that you can scroll down and find out a little bit more about who I am. I am Annelyse. Kira Jayne was my stage name for 3 years, and I have a company called the Wellness Warrior Within, which I started in 2017. I was a real estate agent / mentor, and I really began to fall in love with something foundational within my company, is helping and serving women in business. And women like me, which I am a spicy character. I am a strong woman. I stand up for what I believe in, and I say things that some people just don't want to hear, and I really don't give a fuck. So that's a little of who I am and what my company is. And it's really evolved. I mean, like, I've been doing YouTube since 2017, but you won't find my stuff from back then. I have erased it all. Pretty much that channel doesn't exist. And I started this channel 3 years ago, and I have literally fallen in love with this community so much that this is where my YouTube is now. Gonna be rebranding, and I don't know what that looks like. It may take a while, and I'm okay with that. Like, I'm working through being a perfectionist and overcoming that, and now bringing a little bit more about me and who I am at a little higher level than I was comfortable with before. In fact, that's what I'm coaching my clients to do, is to get out of your comfort zone. That's where the freedom is. That's where the creativity is. And so I'm listening to my own advice and serving you with real stories. Like, I've talked a lot, I've shared a lot about, a lot about my belief system and growing up religious and walking away from religion and all of that. And I plan on talking a little bit more about those things and other things, just personal things that are going on in my life. I think my next YouTube video is going to be about a shaman experience I had 4 weeks ago that has been life-changing in many ways. And also it is a reflection on how far I've come, and where I was then was great. It was a great foundation for being able to actually build. And I think that's my message today with this YouTube, specifically about leaving therapy, which I'll talk about that here in just a little bit. Leaving therapy oftentimes is not looked as a good thing. And so I wanted to share this because, like I was saying, my message is to basically say you are good where you are, and that this idea of bad and good, it exists in all of us, and it is time for you to be able to embrace the goodness and the bad, because ultimately that's when life gets really, really good. There is an obsession with something's wrong with me, I need to be fixed, and that just comes from programming of, and by programming, I mean what our caretakers, teachers, even the news, whatever we saw when we were growing up, our brain was actually taking all that information in and allowing for us to believe that we always need the next best thing. We've got to fix XYZ, being so hard on ourselves. And something my partner and I really started to discuss over the last couple of weeks is, what is Wellness Warrior Within? Who is Annelyse? And it is extremely important to me to be able to deliver these real life stories. I've been a single mom. I've been a successful business owner. I've let go of businesses. I have lost businesses. Like, I have done so many things, especially in business, which normally that's what I'm talking about, and why I'm like going off subject of what I really want to bring here is like, I have been somebody that has been in therapy for honestly most of my life. I think since 7 years old. And I think that there are some really great tools with therapy. Some things that are really bothersome in general is just how much is on the internet now, and therapy being so viral right now. I felt like it was kind of essential to talk about it, especially like avoidant style. It's called attachment theory. So there's avoidant style, secure style, whatever. You should look it up because it is very interesting. But it's like an obsession to constantly look at what we are doing wrong, opposed to looking at things objectively. And that's why I want to bring my stories. Is it's time to evolve into looking at life objectively. And what that means is, imagine yourself, you're a bird and you're, 20,000 feet high. I don't even know if they go that high. Let's just say they're 20,000 feet, and what they see from down below, it's the things that we can see going on and not feel like we need to take everything personal, because ultimately, if we take a bird's eye view, you can literally go up into space and see how little we are. It's getting back to that place of just being in our body, being present. And that is something that's really important to me. Why my partner and I were really able to pull this out of me, because this is something I've been hiding from you. This is something that I have not been fully able to talk about, because sometimes I feel like, I don't know everything. I don't fucking know everything. So why not talk about it anyway? Like, I am the first person that's gonna be like, listen, like, I don't know everything, and this is my experience. So that's me just wanting to share my therapy experience with you here now. So like I was saying, therapy for most of my life, and it has served a purpose. What I am finding is that therapy keeps us stuck. There's this idea, like I said, of, something always wrong. The reality is that we're good exactly as we are. Things are always happening. You're never gonna get to that place where you're like, I achieved everything, because it's always unraveling for you. It is your journey. And I feel like therapy for me, what I was seeing is that not only was I being judgmental of myself constantly and overanalyzing and spending so much time of figuring out how to not be codependent, how to be better mom, how to be this, how to be that, instead of just embracing who I am. And part of that too is just like re-talking in therapy. Our brain doesn't understand future and past. It only understands now. So when we're rehashing over and over and over and over again for many, many years, our brain is in that constant living state. And how can we progress if we are not focused on being present and being now? So I'm trying to think, because I haven't really planned a lot about how I can explain or what to explain for you, and ultimately you get to decide whether you're going to therapy or not. I'm not here to say it's good or bad or whatever. I just don't think it's serving us anymore. In fact, I think it's going so viral, it's sickening. Part of why I have decided to give up on figuring out my branding perfectly and all this stuff is just to talk about all of this stuff as it is experienced to me, because I feel like there's so much teaching and therapy of these one-line subjects, and it is making me go absolutely nuts to the fact that I just have disappeared from here and the internet in general for 6 weeks just to be present with myself, just to get back to me. So in doing all of that talking, you know, I haven't really been able to fully articulate what I wanted to say about why I left therapy. I just really wanted to put it out here because it might be something that you're thinking about. And honestly, if it is something, like, put something in the comments, because I think that there's more and more people that are working to have that understanding that we're doing too much fucking work on ourselves, and it's time to take a vacation from working so hard on ourselves. There's so much out there talking about, you're working so hard, so do less. And then, you know, like, going inward, you're like working just as hard as you were externally. And that too can lean into burnout. I've talked about several things about being burnt out. That's like a big thing for me, and being overwhelmed and all of these things. And I think that that is the ultimate message here, is we are a society that is constantly doing, thinking, saying, yelling, proclaiming, and doing all these things. And it's like, just let's get back to the present moment and getting quiet with ourselves. I will say one more thing about therapy. It just came to my brain. All the years that I've been in therapy, I was constantly thinking about me, as in, like, I've got to be the strongest person. I've got to be the best. I got to make sure I'm not going to get hurt. And that in itself, I feel like, is sort of a part of narcissism. It's a part of who I am. And this realization now, to be really grateful, be like, yeah, that's who you were. That's who you are. That's what you're doing. And also have this great deal of empathy and compassion, which kind of neutralizes this whole label of, you know, who we are, what we do. And I don't know, I just really highly encourage you to, if you are thinking about leaving therapy, girl, leave. You don't need it. Like, that in itself, the work that you're doing of, like, should I go? Should I not go? It's a lot. So I hope that what I said was helpful. I'm going to continue to get deeper and reflect and be able to say the things the stories, the things I'm going through, and get really fucking good at this. So I hope you are enjoying your day, and I hope you join me next time. Okay, bye.